Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Thanks so much for listening. Today, the Obamacare deadline, some tax bill trouble, and a veteran story about Matt Lauer. Plus, NASA's discovery and 2017's top Google search. All that and much more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Friday, December 15th. Today's episode is brought to you by Soul Organics. They offer luxury organic sheets and bedding. I'm using their sheets and loving them. They're comfortable and they help regulate body temperature, and they're chemical-free. And right now, Soul Organics is offering a better deal than they've ever offered anyone before. It ends with the holidays, though, so take advantage of 40% off, free shipping, and 2 free candles. Click the Soul Organics link on thenewsworthy.com and use promo code ERICA40. And remember, you must order today or tomorrow if you want your delivery by Christmas. Okay, you ready for the news? Let's do this. Today is the deadline to sign up or change your plan for Obamacare, at least in 39 states. CNBC reports a lot of people don't know that, though, and there's been extra confusion this year. One online brokerage said more than half of people who need individual health insurance, instead of through their employer, didn't realize the deadline is now. There's also some confusion out there about whether Obamacare, aka the Affordable Care Act, is actually still law. It is. Obamacare offers federal subsidies for lower-income people who make a bit too much money to qualify for other government programs like Medicaid and who don't already get insurance on the job. Some lawmakers want the sign-up deadline to be pushed back, but others say not going to happen. This year's deadline to sign up is a lot sooner than it was last year, and the Trump administration cut most of the money for outreach and marketing. So far, it doesn't sound like there will be an extension on the deadline. So if anyone wants in, then it's the time, today, to go to healthcare.gov. P.S. Several states do have later deadlines. Those include California, Colorado, New York, and Minnesota. There's a new threat to the tax bill getting through Congress. Republican Senator Marco Rubio says, "You need to make a change or I won't vote for it." The AP reports he wants to see the child tax credit expanded. In other words, he wants low-income families who claim their children to get a more generous tax credit. And another Republican who wants the same thing also says he's undecided about how he'll vote. Problem is, the $1.5 trillion cost of the bill is already a concern to some lawmakers. The bill would cut the tax rate for corporations from 35% as it is now to 21%. And there's also other more modest tax cuts. Of course, you can read more about the details of this latest version of the tax bill in today's show notes. But for now, the plan is to reveal this version today, and lawmakers will possibly vote on it early next week. There are a few more details now from Omarosa Manigault. She's the former reality TV star from the show The Apprentice, who then became a White House staffer. There were conflicting stories this week that she either resigned or was escorted off the White House campus. Well, she told Good Morning America yesterday she had a very straightforward discussion with the chief of staff about her concerns and then said, "I'm out," and that she resigned. She says the other stories aren't true. She added that as the only African-American woman in the White House as a senior staff member, she saw things that made her uncomfortable, but she didn't give any more details, at least not yet. That led to another TV moment people are now talking about. Good Morning America host Robin Roberts didn't seem to like the lack of details in her story. Roberts said, "I'm sure she'll be selling her story," and then literally said on TV, "Bye, Felicia." The phrase used to basically mean get out of my face. Another woman has come forward about Matt Lauer and explained that a series of events involving Matt Lauer eventually caused her to quit her job in TV and join the Army. She explained in Variety how he pursued her when she was a production assistant for the Today Show and told her to meet him in his dressing room. He was married and in his 40s. She was in her 20s. She also mentioned that button at his office desk that let him lock the door without standing up, how he was the most powerful man at NBC and pursued the most vulnerable. Lauer hasn't said anything in response at this point. Remember, NBC News fired him last month after a different accusation. The world's largest generic drug maker is cutting a lot of jobs, 14,000. CNBC reports that's a quarter of the workforce there, and the cuts are expected in the new year. Tefo Pharmaceuticals is doing this to try and pay back a big debt of $35 billion. The company is based in Israel, and there are already protests there. The job cuts are happening around the world. All right, other things people may be talking about today. Scientists are checking to make sure what appears to be a uniquely shaped space rock in space is actually a rock. and not an alien spacecraft. Really. The Guardian reports it's long and slender, and because that shape would allow it to move through space at fast speeds, researchers thought maybe we should double-check this isn't alien-made. So far, nothing. And chances are it's just a rock. But still, they had to make sure. Scientists say they'll keep searching for any signals from this object or anything else. It turns out our solar system isn't so unique after all. Wired reports NASA's new discovery is an 8th planet orbiting a star about 2,500 light years away, which means at least one other solar system has 8 planets just like our solar system. The discovery was made using artificial intelligence from Google. So there was a lot of information, but not enough analysis of that information. That's where Google's software came in and identified certain patterns that led to the discovery. So it was basically a Google search for more planets in other solar systems. Microsoft wants you to Google less and Bing more. So the company says it's making Bing smarter. TechCrunch reports Microsoft is looking for ways to add more artificial intelligence to the Bing search engine. Microsoft is also partnering with Reddit, so you might get more answers from the Reddit site when you search for something in Bing. P.S. Microsoft says we all Bing more than we might realize, thanks to partnerships with websites like Yahoo. In fact, the company says 1/3 of desktop search results are already done on Bing. Target bought a grocery delivery startup called Shipt, and Bloomberg reports it means some Target stores should start having same-day delivery as early as next summer. The service currently costs $99 a year or $14 a month, and with this new partnership, it could be for everything from groceries to household items to electronics. In case you missed it, Google's list is out of the top searches for 2017. In both the US and around the world, the top trending search was Hurricane Irma. 2 and 3 in the US were Matt Lauer and Tom Petty. Around the world, iPhone 8 and iPhone 10 took the 2nd and 3rd spots. All right, a quick note before we go. If you haven't listened to Wednesday or Thursday's episode, I do recommend you go back because the lead stories in both those episodes are still being talked about today. One is about Doug Jones in Alabama and the timing of when he'll actually be sworn in as senator, and the other about net neutrality, which, as expected, the FCC did vote to get rid of it. And that's it. You are all caught up. If you get value out of this and you listen on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, please be sure to leave a review. I love hearing what you have to say about the newsworthy, and it lets other people know they should give it a try. So thank you in advance. As always, you can get more info about any of today's stories in today's show notes on thenewsworthy.com. Just click episodes and choose today's date. The Newsworthy is ready to keep you in the know every day, Monday through Friday by 4 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend.